Okay, here we go. Let's see, the Enid Metropolitan Area Planning Commission meeting is called to order at 6 o'clock. Secretary, do we have a quorum?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a quorum. The first item is, pardon me while we're doing something new here, so it's going to take me a little bit to read through this. The procedure will follow the order of A, planning staff report, B, applicant's testimony, C, public hearing to allow those to speak in favor or oppose the item, D, applicant's rebuttal if necessary, F, close hearing. And if you are testifying, please state your name and resident address. Okay, item 3.1, consider a lot split application. Were you going to call roll?
Oh, I forgot to put the minutes in there, I'm sorry.
Let's see. Okay, let me go by the other.
Apologies.
All right. Consider the approval of minutes of the December 15, 2025 MAPC.
First.
What?
Yeah, I do have.
Item number 1 is to call roll. Okay. Marvin Kusick,
Here.
Colreen.
Here.
Walker Henson. Michael O'Brien.
Here.
David Trojan. Here. Brian Henry.
Here.
Greg Hobb.
Here.
Donald Roberts. David Henneke. Clarence Maley.
Here.
And Derwin Norwood.
Here.
Okay. We're good to go.
Okay, we're stumbling, but we're trying. Okay. I've already read the procedure for the public hearing procedure. I don't need to go over that again. Now,
Number 2, review and consider approval.
consider the approval of the minutes of the December 15, 2025 MAPC meeting. Is there-
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the 2025 December 15th MAPC meeting. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And that's unanimous. Okay, are we down to 3.1 now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Consider a lot split application for applicants Jill and Leslie Gilbert for the properties located at 2001 and 2013 East Main Street.
Okay. Good evening, Commissioners. Jacqueline Porter, Community Development Director, has stated this is a lot split application for 2001 and 2013 East Main Street by Gil and Leslie Gilbert. Here's an aerial map of the subject property outlined in red. You have the Union Community Correction Center across the street. You have the Cherokee Strip Baptist Association building located to the northwest, east, and you have the GE Apartments directly to the west. And then a little bit further over, you have the NOC baseball field. Here's a zoning map of the subject property. Property is majority zone C3 with R2 to the south, and SU is because that is part of NOC's property. So this is a lot split. Here's the proposed lot split. They are wanting to split the, here we go. This portion is kind of a lot line adjustment in a way where they're just trying to square this off. So it is its own parcel, and then you have the remaining parcel here with a drainage easement, and this here is a private sewer that goes to the main that runs along east and west there. Are there any questions for staff at this time?
Is that an easement for the private sewer? Or
Yes, there is. They do have one drafted up to be filed with this lot split.
This is a non-platted tract to begin with, is that correct?
It has partial plats. No, yeah. No. Oh, hang on, wait, let me read, I don't have
It
legal
says
description.
replat, block 24, block 26.
Yes, it is a replat. Well, okay, so it's not a full replat since we are considering it a lot line adjustment. We didn't do a full replat on it. Didn't want to go through that process because it is part of the university place and then we're just splitting into two. Because if we did a full replat, that requires a full survey and a dedication and a whole, it's a little bit extra since it's just a lot line adjustment at the end of the day. Because this is where the original lot line is through here. And since they're just moving it here, we just considered it for a lot split process.
So you're superimposing the survey on the existing plat? Is that,
Yes, that's basically what's happening. It's not an actual replat, because this survey really isn't going to be filed to supersede the plat. So this is just over, and the legal description describes everything as such. That it is, like, using the base plat instead of a full
full
replat.
legal description? I can't see it.
It's not in this.
So you've got this tract. They're trying to create a separate tract for the old Kerr-McGee station, right? So will we wind up with a legal description that's meets and bounds less than except what will become parcel A?
Yes, it's in the packet. I don't remember off the top of my
Have a
head.
packet.
But also, we don't have a packet. That's what
That's, we don't have a packet to refer to, so.
Can you go to the agenda and then click on the PDF version?
Well,
Yep, keep going.
Go back up.
get back up to
Go
the
back up,
abstract cover
please.
page.
Go up. Yep.
I keep doing this.
One of-
Yeah, I was wanting to do the same thing.
Okay,
So it is, so it's shown as it meets and bounds on this, but this would be the original abstract back.
Yes, that is the
Is that
original.
50 feet west,
So it's
northwest corner. lot
Replat of
7,
University Place.
Block 24 replat. So is that all one lot?
It was at one point, yeah.
That weird shaped property is all one lot.
Just a function of having a practical tract properly described.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
unusual to superimpose a meets and bounds upon a platted subdivision. That's what I just want this, don't have any
It's-
strong objection to it, but want to make sure it's
Yeah,
correctly handled.
well, and if anything, we don't want to create a title problem
That's
5
exactly
or
what-
10 years from now. I'm not opposed to what they're doing, but I look at meets and bounds all the time. I'm confused by this, to be frank.
Yeah. Will you scroll down some more?
It says-
Will you scroll down a little bit more to the other
There's a-
legal
there's a
descriptions?
survey in there, isn't there?
Yes, well, we have a survey and legal descriptions.
I think that's what
All
they're
right.
going to.
Okay.
This is
Yep,
why we
this
need a
is-
packet.
Part of the replat.
26. So this is for the track, sorry, David. I didn't
Go
mean to
ahead.
Walk on you.
Go ahead.
This is the track where the old station was.
Correct. This is a little square. Yep.
It's 0.27 acres.
Y'all are getting your first look at this. Staff's been looking at this for a while, going back and forth with the surveyor just to get everything that we need. And this is just a unique parcel that
Yeah.
has its own set of challenges. We think that we have gotten everything that we need
Well, and
for, but
having
you're
this-
just seeing it for the first time.
having this legal
I had it
description.
up on
Yeah.
the screen, I just didn't bring it with me, didn't
Yeah.
notice it.
What was the purpose of the split? Because we don't have a packet. And I apologize, I didn't have.
I looked at this all Friday and so read over it, but I don't remember from Friday. So, yeah.
Because this document has the purpose back 3 or 4 pages ago.
Yeah, okay, so, oops. I'll have Gilbert's, would you come on up to explain the intent?
The reason we're doing this is to get out from under all the mowing and the maintenance to take care of all that property. Myself, because I'm getting old and I don't want to do it anymore. I'm getting a few health concerns. I just want to be out from under that.
Okay, so do you own that entire tract or do
Yes,
you
sir.
own the quarter tract?
Well, that whole block, actually.
Whatever that
Yeah.
trapezoid.
Because our house is on that, up on the south end of that.
Okay.
Yes, own the whole thing.
And you will still have the maintenance responsibility, except it'll be in a different,
We just right, if we get it all approved and sold, that'll be someone else's problem.
Okay, so you're trying to sell off.
I'll sell all that, except that one little building, 2013. That's what we're keeping.
Understood. You're trying, okay. You're trying to keep what used to be the little Kermagee station there.
No. This Quick Shop was actually an Apco, a Champlin, and,
When I was trading there in college, when I went to Phillips,
Okay.
it was a Kermagee.
no, we're getting rid
how it's
of,
been.
when we get rid of that,
Okay, you're taking it out.
just, go ahead, sir.
do the restrictive covenants of the subdivision preclude, you reviewed the, I just want to make,
There's not,
there aren't no restrictive covenants within the.
not in there.
Well, Plan A is, if we get everything through and get it where we can sell it, whoever buys it, we're gonna at some point give them first option on that 2013 building we're keeping, and let them have first option to buy that.
2013 was where the post
Post
office
office,
was, there was a
Three
laundromat.
guys that were born and raised in Enid, Georgia's Cafe.
Yeah, yeah.
And the laundromat,
Okay.
yeah. So. that
You want
house
to keep
are-
that building, scrape the old service station.
Yeah,
Much more understood now. Thank you, sir.
yes, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna,
So we've got a track that's got a historical legal description, David, so if everybody else is comfortable with it, I think it is kind of what it is, so.
are we good? Do we have any more questions? The next thing, we might as well just bypass it, where I asked the applicant if they would like to provide any additional information. We've already done that. We've had our discussion. Is there a motion?
I'd make a motion to approve it.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the lot split as written. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And that is unanimous. Okay, the next item
Good to go.
is, looks like 3.2, consider a lot split application for applicants Deborah and Doyle Schultes. I think I got that name, is that right? Okay. For properties located at 117 and 119 North 18th Street and 1801 East Randolph Avenue.
Thank you. All right. As stated, again, this is another lot split application near the intersection of East Randolph and North 18th Street. Here's an aerial view of the subject property. Glen Park is located across Randolph to the north, and then you have an older building by St. Paul evangelical, oh my goodness, Lutheran, anyways,
Church.
the church building is there to the south. The city currently owns the property to the east. The property currently has 5 structures, 3 of which are single-family dwelling units. The applicant is requesting to split the property so that the house is on the north, there's a house on the north portion of the property near East Randolph, along with 2 garages/accessory structures are being proposed to be located on one, which is address 1801 East Randolph, and then 2 single-family structures are proposed to be on the other lot. As you'll see on the survey, again, the zoning is R2. SU across the street for the park, and then R7 is located to the south. Here is the proposed survey. As mentioned, a private sewer line easement is requested for the water lines that service 117 and 119 North 18th on the south, that go through to the north to the water main on Randolph, and then same for the sewer for the one for 1801 East Randolph. There is a sewer line that goes all the way to the sewer main, which is in the alley on the south. So private easement for those are requested, and we have received drafts as staff. So there is also a variance request that has been submitted for under section 11(6)(b)(2) for permitted uses to allow the use of the proposed 2 single-family structures in R2 zoning that is on the agenda for March for BOA, and that is to allow for these 2 here because it's more than one single-family structure on that lot. The only thing is, staff recommends, if the commission wishes to approve this, to go ahead and approve it with the condition that the Board of Adjustment approves the variance request to allow for the use of 2 single-family structures on a single lot in an R2 zoned.
That we currently
Area.
have 3 single-family homes on one lot, so.
Yes, so this is, again, this is another unique lot split that we've dealt with. Do you have any questions on what's being proposed to you tonight?
Just one, just for kind of entertain this, but so if the BOA were to not approve that, then what would happen?
This lot split would not be approved.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I would make a motion that we would approve it pending approval of the sewer line easements and approval of Board of Adjustment.
Second.
What about public hearing?
Oh,
Is this not a
No,
public hearing?
no public
Okay.
hearing.
This-
Never mind.
okay. No
Discussion.
hearing.
That's on the next one.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the lot split with the, sorry about that, with the condition that the Board of Adjustment approves the variance request to allow for the use of 2 single-family structures on a single lot zoned R2. All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those opposed? And that motion is unanimous. Okay, now we get to the long one.
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. See you later.
Okay, item 4.1 is to hold a public hearing and consider making a recommendation to the mayor and board of commissioners concerning an ordinance amending the Enid Municipal Code 2024, Title 11 zoning. And I'm going to try to get through some of this, and I'm going to probably have to turn it over to
Okay.
one of you.
I'll pick up where you
Okay,
you
Chapter
left.
1, Purpose, Interpretation, and Definitions. Section 11-7-1, Definitions to modify, remove, and add definitions and add illustrations. Chapter 3, Board of Adjustment. Section 11.3.6, Special exceptions to include manufactured homes. Chapter 5, A, Agricultural General District. Sections 11-5-2, Permitted Uses. 11-5-3, uses by review, and 11-5-4, area regulations, to add accessory dwelling units, single-family dwellings, and manufactured homes, and updating verbiage. I'll try one more. Chapter 6, residential districts. Article A, R1 Residential Estate District, Sections 11-6A-2, permitted uses, and 11-6A-4, area regulations. Article B, R2 Residential Single-Family District, Sections 11-6B-2, permitted uses, and 11-6B-4, area regulations. If you would, please start there.
Yep, all right. Article C, R3 Mobile Home Neighborhoods, 11-6C3, permitted uses, 11-6C-4, uses by right, or by review, 11-6C by 5, area regulations, and 11-6C-7, connections to utilities, payments of fees. Article D, R-4, residential duplex or two-family dwelling district, section 11-6D-2, permitted uses, 11-6D-3, uses by review, and 11-6D-4, area regulations. As well as Article E, R4A, four-family residential district, section 11-6E2, permitted uses, and 11-6E-4, area regulations. Article F, R5, townhouse district, section 11-6F2, permitted uses, 11-6F4, size of district, and 11-6F5, area regulations. Article G, R6, mobile home park district, section 11-6G1, general descriptions, 11-6G2, permitted uses, 11-6G3, accessory uses, 11-6G4, applications and submission of development plan, 11-6G5, development requirements, 11-6G6, development plan approval, 11-6G7, inspections, issuance of license, 11-6G8, occupancy permit, and 11-6G9, other requirements. Article H, R7, residential multifamily district, section 11-6H2, permitted uses, 11-6H3, area regulations to add accessory dwelling units as permitted uses, add manufactured homes, and updated verbiage. For Chapter 7, commercial districts, Article A, CO is commercial office district, section 11-7A2, permitted uses, 11-7A3, area regulations, and 11-7A4, site design requirements. Article B, C1, light commercial district, section 11-7B2, district use regulations, 11-7B4, site design requirements. Article C, C2, plan business center district, section 11-7C3, size of district, 11-7C4, permitted uses, 11C7, yeah, C7, no, 7C-5, dimensional standards. All right.
You want me to go for a little bit?
Okay, you go for it.
Article D, C3, general commercial district, sections 11D2, district use regulations, 11D7, or 7D, excuse me, -4, site design requirements. Article E, C4, commercial central business district, section 11-7E4, area regulations to add mixed use as a use by review, update verbiage. Chapter 8, industrial districts, Article A, I1 Planned Industrial Park District, Section 11-8B6, Area Regulations. Article B, I-2 Industrial Light District, Section 11-8B5, Area Regulations, Setbacks. Article C, I-3 Industrial Heavy District, Section 11-8C4, Area Regulations, Setbacks to update verbiage. Chapter 11, Site Plan Review, Section 11-1111, Issuance of a building permit to set expirations for site plans and master plans. And finally, Chapter 14, Supplementary Regulations to include additional regulations for accessory dwelling units, providing for repealer, savings clause, severability, statutory references, and codification.
Good job, everyone.
I just want to start us off by saying I challenged Jackie, we've been talking about it for a while, to come up with some accessory dwelling unit language so that we can allow people who might want to build an accessory dwelling unit in Enid to give them a way to do it through the ordinance. And so what you just read through here is whenever you make a change like this to allow an accessory dwelling unit, it just spiderwebs through your ordinance, all of the things that need to be changed. And then when you go through all of those sections and make those changes, you see other little tweaks that you need to make. And so thank you for reading all of that. I asked Jackie to do it, and it's taken her a lot of work to get to the finish line here. And hopefully you'll enjoy what she's about to tell you about.
Okay, the public hearing is now open for consideration of this item. Are there any members in the audience? And it looks like there are no members in the audience who wish to speak for or against the proposal. Like I say, it doesn't look like there's anyone here.
I'll go ahead and present really fast.
Okay?
Yep. All right. So, in summary, all of this is just all on Title 11, the zoning portion. That is why it's being presented to you, because you are the governing body over the zoning to provide recommendations on this proposed text amendment to the mayor and board of commissioners. So, first off, the big chunk in the beginning was the amendments to the definitions. So we are adding accessory dwelling unit, or ADUs, and we defined it as a smaller independent residential dwelling unit located on the same lot as a detached accessory structure from the principal structure as a standalone single-family dwelling unit. The other big one that we're adding is the mixed use, a use to allow for a dwelling unit within a larger structure, which is used in whole or in part as a commercial use. The dwelling units or units must not exceed 45% of the total floor area of the structure and shall not be located within the structure as the street or the frontage of that building. And then we cleaned up by adding setbacks. Since we have yards, there's been cleaning up the yards and the setback verbiage that is on here. These are the definitions defining for setbacks. There are also illustrations at the end, which I'll show you. And then we added watershed protection. It's an allowed use in R1 in agriculture, just adding a definition to the use that's allowed. So here are the illustrations that are added to the definitions. So this is just to define, these are the setbacks. And here's the illustration of yards versus setbacks with just an interior lot where you have properties on either side that you're abutting. This is what your yard and what would be your setbacks. And then we have your corner lots, and if the roads are on the other side, but we have two streets or right-of-ways that are on there. And it has your setbacks, your yards on there. Your revisions, so there have been tweaks to current dwelling definitions to be a little bit more elaborate to allow for the permanent provisions of living, sleeping, eating, and permanent cooking appliance and bathrooms to define a dwelling unit. The current revisions for adult entertainment has been revised to reference the state statute, section, whatever's down at the bottom, 21, section 104055, basically just referencing it, so it follows that section. So we're omitting the dwellings, garage apartments, sexual conduct, single-wide residential manufactured homes, single-family residential manufactured homes, and specified atomical areas. Well, that was cleaned up. Most of this was cleaned up with the ADU definitions and the adult entertainment section. So, one of the major things is adding ADUs.
There was a misspelled word there.
There's two of them.
What? I'll have to change that later.
Back up one. Okay, specificed anatomic wiggle. That last line, there's
Yep.
two misspelled words there.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't want the boo birds coming back and saying we violated Open Meeting Act because we didn't spell it right.
It's everywhere else, and we read it long.
Spell check missed it.
Yes, it did. So, Dalton, taking notes so I can change
I'm not
it.
trying to be nitpicky, but
One of the
there's
inquiries-
somebody out there that will be.
I
So
wanted to make these setback lines, and particularly with accessory structures, we're going to be utilizing a lot of property very efficiently. How does that impact these are based upon the structure. How about the overhang, would oftentimes be the soffit for an extended roof? How does that fit into this so far as these setback lines? Side setback?
Okay, I'll address that when I get to the ADU definitions here in a few seconds, because it's kind of covered in it a little bit. Yeah. So, okay, ADUs. Here is where they're allowed, use by right. In agriculture, your R1, your R4A, your R5, and your R7 zoning districts. And use by review in your R2, your more restrictive single-family district, R3, and R4. An amendment, okay. Now, through all the zoning districts, revising yard to setbacks, having consistency in verbiage from one family to, say, single family to meet the definitions that are defined for single family. Mobile home to mobile manufactured home is the other major one, just to add that manufactured because the intent is the same. So it is continuous throughout the Title 11. Omitting lot area per family to dwelling units, again, to reference the definitions. Adding to your commercial districts, revising the yard to setbacks, and then the mixed uses, a use by right in C3 and C4, and then your heavier, your lower intensity commercial, it's a use by review, which is 0, 1, and 2. Industrial district, just the verbiage on the revised yard or minimum yard dimensions to setbacks, just cleaning that up. The other major one was 1111 site plan, to include that site and the master plans shall expire 1 year from the date of approval unless a building permit is submitted, or shall expire if there are no active building permits for 6 months. That's just adding because we do not have an expiration on our site plans, so site plans could just stay out there forever. All right, on to the accessory dwelling. All right, so here is all the definitions, or what were the regulations for them. So to answer your question about setbacks, they still have, shall not be the primary structure building permit. So down here we have where it kind of talks about where it's located and where it needs to be located. where it shall not exceed the primary structure in size, so it has to be smaller, shall not exceed by the height, located in the rear yard, which limits it, and then can exceed 30% of it. So the setbacks, so we'll go, in parking spots, okay, so, for example, say we have a corner lot. The setbacks are gonna be up in here. It's still gonna meet the requirements. It's gonna be in the rear yard. So all of this, now, it still has to meet the requirements of 3 feet from the property lines as an accessory structure. So, and then for fire purposes, it still has to be 5 feet from the primary structure.
Is this the walls or the roof line? Because again, like my house, I have brick walls, then I have 3 foot
3 and some larger, yeah. Soffit.
soffit out there. Some houses built today don't have anything. So
So traditionally, the house can go to the setback lines. The eaves can go over. But what we're talking about here is that the fire break that heads to the eaves. So you can't be 5 feet from each other with the eaves, but you can be on the setback and the eaves overhang. Does that make sense?
Well, the eaves part of the structure, so
But we go
That's what you're saying.
we go to the wall because of the footing is really what we're measuring to.
You're not measuring 8 or 10 feet up, is what you're saying. You're looking wall to
The
wall.
airspace is included. You can't encroach over the property line, but
obviously,
that's why we have the setback rules, but eaves have never been included in that portion.
okay.
so it's the actual wall.
Correct.
Yes.
So you could have, see, if you wanted to, you could have a 4 foot, 6 foot soffit then.
Depending if it's encroaching on any fire hazard. If it can't be within, eaves can't be within 5 feet of each other, the way the IFC reads.
If you have commercial property, you can build it on the property line.
Yeah.
It has 0 setback.
But we can't have an eave hanging over that either, so.
Yeah.
Correct.
I was going to inquire about the expiration of the master plan, and is that something that's consistent with other municipalities similar to Enid?
Yes. Yes, the only caveat is from other communities, is adding the 6 months. So that's for the idea if it's a phase plan, that the whole site plan's been approved, and they're doing it in phases and pulling building permits for certain ones, that's the only thing that's a little bit a variation from other communities.
So a master plan could be approved, and if for reasons such as interest rates or some financing not being in place, if nothing happens, it expires?
Correct.
Think of it like this too, there's some site plans that maybe were approved 3 years ago, and there's now different versions of our code, there's different engineering standards, and at some point we need to be able to say, okay, this isn't good anymore, you haven't built it, it's been 3 years, if you want to resubmit this, then it needs to meet our current engineering standards, and it needs to meet, the other things.
But this is, I know that I dealt with something in another municipality larger, and the site plan was in place for more than a year, and it was because of the finances required, and it didn't expire to mine. In fact, I'm sure it didn't. I'm just curious, is this common?
Yes, at least definitely in the municipalities I have worked in, it's been in place. It's also piggybacking off of the expiration of building permits too. Our timeline is a year on those as well. 6 months on building permits. So what they could do is if there is a financing issue, they can submit a building permit. Building permits can be extended. There is the option to extend if need be. Yeah.
What's required to extend a building permit?
Application to me.
Do you?
And I'll look over it, we'll, usually an extra one. I just want documentation, that'd be all.
Oh.
Okay, is there any other discussion?
I have some questions about the industrial zoning.
Yes.
The old zoning has 1, 2, and 3, which is light, medium, and heavy. when we create this new zoning, how are we going to determine those properties that are zoned I2, what do they become?
Wait, what?
They're still I2. We're not changing.
Yeah, we're not changing it.
Well, I believe I1, it said on here I1 was going to become, and again, I wish I had a packet to look at.
Yeah, I was with- I don't
Can we
think
go back?
Yeah, this is,
Can we please back this up so and go to the industrial zoning section? And I may have just saw something wrong or something, but I saw 1, 2, and 3, and 1 being an industrial park.
Well, I don't,
Sorry, I guess I should have stopped you when that came by.
because this is all I have on industrial. Do you, I have.
I saw it, it was in the definitions.
It's in definitions or something. I saw it.
It would be Article,
It was under the, maybe it was in the, can I borrow that?
sure, go right ahead.
Chapter 8, Industrial Districts, Article A, I-1 Planned Industrial Park District. Article B, I-2 Industrial Light District. Article C, I-3 Industrial Heavy District. The old code was I-1 Light, I-2 Medium, I-3 Heavy. Now, I'm all for having, let's say, an I-4 Planned Industrial Park. But again, if we eliminate a zoning, then we're going to have to say, well, Jacqueline, your building is no longer I-2. It's I-1, it's I-3. Well, there are different definitions there. You may have been running a business in I-2 for 30 years, but now all of a sudden somebody arbitrarily determines it's I-1 and now you're in code violation.
He's talking about industrial, this is commercial. Okay, hold on.
All that's changing in the industrial is the definitions of
Yeah, hold on.
the
Yeah.
setback.
Okay, so,
Not the definition of the property. She's just talking about
When
changing.
we eliminate I-1, 2, and 3 as light, medium, and heavy?
that,
Because the current stuff that we have, that I look at, even when I'm looking at GIS, I see 1, 2, and 3, and that is light, medium, and heavy, not planned industrial park, light and heavy. We've lost a zoning in there.
that is how it is in the municipal code is,
When did this change?
I have no idea, that is how it's based everything on how. Now, I don't know what it is on GIS, I would have to look and see.
We've always, I mean, as a realtor, we've been operating off the assumption that you have light, medium, and heavy, and certain things are allowed, certain things are used by review. You can't do an oil refinery in I-1, period. It's not allowable. Same thing with I-2. But in I-3, that is a use by review. Not that we're going to open oil refineries or build explosive plants or whatever. But there's definitely an I-2 designation somewhere, and I'm completely shocked that we no longer have it, and we now have an I-1 industrial park, I-2 light, and I-3 heavy, because when we
Yeah,
do
you
have
can do that.
properties that I'm advertising as I-2 medium industrial, I'm kind of curious when that happened, because I don't recall it happening under my tenure. And I'm not trying to be argumentative. I want to simply represent properties the correct way.
Totally agree.
And if we have a light and a heavy only, then we need to more clarify to the public and to people who work in industries that are even in the county and stuff. We need to know,
Okay.
here's what's the definition of something that's light and permitted uses.
Accommodate a limited
I
group
think it's
of
on the screen
professional.
on the way. Need to have a hard copy. That's what this is.
I mean, I can see it's right there.
Yes,
What you have before you is not proposing any of these changes. What you have before you is changing the definition of setback within these units.
yes.
Well, and I apologize, Scott, for talking about something that's not on the agenda.
That would be inconsistent.
Well, here's the prior code here, 2013, passed October 15th, 2013. That's the last time this one's been changed. And it still shows permitted uses for I-1. It goes down and talks about I-2, shows you what all of the permitted uses are for I-2, same for I-3.
Well, Enid, Oklahoma has its own Mandela effect. I'm telling you that
And it
right
could,
now.
because again, this could be on GIS different, or it could be on the county as well as use different. I would have to research, but the intent is still the same. It is a light, medium, and
So,
heavy.
and I apologize to everybody. This is for setbacks. I will discuss that later, but I thought we were, and again, I didn't have an agenda. I thought we were eliminating and changing zonings. That's what I thought, one of the things we were updating, because I was completely unaware that apparently in 2013 we eliminated this I-1, 2, and 3 light, medium, and heavy.
Yes, the park is, the intent, again, is just for group, professional administration, wholesale, retail service, research, and manufacturing uses, which again is kind of your lighter, Not sure why,
I think we're in semantics.
yes.
Well, semantics matter when we deal with specificity, building permits, site plans, code issues. So again, I apologize. I understand that the agenda item is setbacks. When I saw that, I thought we were also amending zoning classifications. And you're saying that we are not amending zoning classifications in industrial tonight along with the setbacks. Am I correct?
Correct. If
Okay.
you want this, if you want this to be amended,
That's going to be a totally separate issue.
yes, and
So
then, because
we'll-
I'd have
so
to do a
we'll
different
move on.
notice and.
I thought we were doing two things instead of one.
Okay.
I think it was something that definitely needed to be brought up. I mean, I was kind of wondering the same thing, so.
So there's some, yeah,
Okay, I can draft something up different for a different text amendment with,
it's a moot point.
okay,
This is for setbacks, whether we're in 1, 2, or 3, or 26, the setbacks are what they are, and that's what we're addressing. Again, I apologize for discussing something that's not on the agenda. I was mistaken.
nope, you're good.
All right, with that being said, is there any other discussion on this item? If not, I hereby close the public meeting, and I am open to a motion for a recommendation to the mayor and board of commissioners.
I did have one more. On the illustrations where you were showing the setbacks, I'm assuming that was residential.
At that corner setback, I think it was
It wasn't the corner, it was the interior lots.
the interior lot.
I did not see any dimensions on there. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the
Oh.
standard.
It's just generic because it does change, so it's just kind of the idea of what the yard would be. So there wasn't actual, because in some, it's going to be less.
We might use the same illustration for
Yep.
commercial and residential.
Correct. This
Okay,
is
well,
just for-
and there was one, right there, it was this one right here, the rear setbacks kind of had me thrown. So I'm confused there, so I know that you say that it changes there, but is there not like a standard, and I'm assuming say residential, commercial?
Yeah,
Okay.
residential's usually 20, I believe,
Is that, okay.
in front yards.
So you're going to utilize this as a model diagram and place the number of feet in each of
Yes.
these?
Yeah, because in the sections, so you can't see it, but in the definitions, it's changed to where it says rear setback is this amount of feet. It does not talk about yards anymore. So whenever you can compare this illustration to whatever zoning district you're in, the setbacks are gonna be from the property line and there.
Is that a zoning issue or is that a utility issue?
It's zoning, because setbacks are set, we can go through the zoning thing about why setbacks are a thing. Some of it is in consideration of the international building codes, and some of it is for aesthetic purposes. So larger setbacks are to make it feel like you're, for agriculture, your setbacks are larger, so it makes it feel like you have more land and separation between rooftops. In your smaller ones, you have smaller setbacks, you have more rooftops. So the setbacks help build that buffer for everything. That's the original thoughts of setbacks. Also, in what a lot of communities use as well is those setbacks for utilities as well. And that includes utilities usually. They go and coincide if they do them. Now, if there's utilities on the side yards, usually because easements can be larger than the setbacks anywhere where they're at, so they're still gonna.
But we've never had pictures before. Now we're gonna have
That was my
pictures.
question before. So is it stated specifically the number of feet that a side setback would be?
Yes, it does, in each
So that
zoning
would be in
district.
residential, commercial, industrial, each of them would have their own specific.
Correct.
And it's been that way for a while.
Okay.
Yes.
It's just now they have an illustration of it.
Well, and given that, I work in a lot of smaller jurisdictions, and I just want to make sure that I'm understanding like this illustration correctly. That applies well, let's just say it's 20 feet. Let's just say that. That applies to the primary structure or all accessory structures as well?
Primary.
Okay, so technically, an accessory structure could be 10 foot.
Yes, we have a whole nother section on accessory structures.
Okay.
Yes. Now, it's different for commercial and residential.
So when I went and I looked in the ordinance under the accessory, I did not see those setbacks. That doesn't mean I didn't overlook them.
It is 5 feet, 3 feet, one of those. It's in, I can't help. For accessory structures in residential.
If it's residential accessory structures and carports is where it shows the setbacks.
It's just like, it's in a sentence. It's not broken down like in residential.
Okay.
It literally just says like 5 in the middle of the sentence.
Well, the only reason that I had went through this whenever it first got emailed out. I just walked in my backyard and was trying to imagine what you guys were getting at. And that's where I was like, well, man, you'd lose half of your yard if you were trying to put one of these in there. So that's just kind of where my head went with that. I don't know. I know that we're still in the public hearing, but to me, that's a little much. I do think it's more than reasonable to make a suggestion, though, that like you don't put one in an easement if that's marked as such. That would be my only.
Yeah, we don't
comment, really.
allow anything to go in easements. If there's an easement, no. Now, let me get to that section so we can read everything. Subdivisions, one ownership.
Some of these ADUs, people might spend $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 on one. We're going to make sure that it's placed in an area,
Exactly.
before they start building.
Number 8 be your answer.
Yeah.
Because
Yes, it
based
shall
off
not
of the
exceed
percentage.
30%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way it can't be, so we're restricting how big it can be from, it can't be, it's gonna look like an accessory structure. It can't be bigger than the footprint of the house, can't be taller than the primary structure, and then it's strictly in the rear yard as defined in the.
Oh,
so-
and I hear what you're saying, and thank you, Derwin, but I think maybe I'm misrepresenting what I'm saying, is that if that's a 20-foot hard, let's say R7, that's where I'm at. So if it's 20-foot hard capped, but I don't have an easement within my property line in that, then I don't know why we would set a hard cap number on there that's so restrictive. So why you wouldn't say 10 foot but cannot be placed in an easement? Does that make sense? What I'm saying to you?
Okay, repeat that.
So like, let's say that I don't have any utilities in my backyard whatsoever. So that 20 foot is to keep that out of a utility easement or whatever kind of easement you want to call it. But if I don't have anything in that area, why would that hard cap number be there? So that's why I'm just saying I think that was a little over restrictive. Like, I don't see why 10 foot wouldn't be allowed as long as it's not placed in an easement. And there are a lot of cities kind of go into those wiggle room on accessory structures and ADUs primarily.
Yes, so I'm trying to read if I put it in there. Sheds shall meet.
I can pull up that ordinance if we need to look at it.
Yeah, and I apologize. You may have addressed this entirely. It just, no packet kind of makes it hard to review.
We're just using on the ADUs, whatever the accessory setbacks were, that's pretty much what we're using.
Yes,
the
because,
ADUs.
and it's stating it's just in the rear yard, so it's not, so it will be from here all the way here is your buildable area. It whoop, 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 this little dotted line back is gonna be your buildable area
Okay.
for ADUs and any accessory structures. This setback is for the primary structure. And then in the accessory section, it talks about accessory structures, which is less restrictive. It's 5 or 3 feet. I can't remember off the top.
From the
of my
rear property line?
From the property lines. It just says property lines.
I don't think that's accurate.
I know,
I've never heard of a rear yard being 3 or 5 feet.
For accessory buildings, like a garage or a storage building.
Is it?
Is the standard that they're using. And I don't recall 100% what it is, but yeah.
3 or 5 feet is more than reasonable, but
Yeah.
I was told it was 20, and that's why I was like, whoa, wait, what?
For
That's
a
lot.
primary structure.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, for a primary structure. Accessory is a different
If-
story.
If 3 or 5 feet of what you got, then yeah, run with that.
Yeah, if you're putting up a shed or a garage or something, then it was like, I was thinking it was 5 feet off the property line.
I'm trying to find.
Which would be consistent with. a lot
Okay,
of those
well, then
others.
disregard everything I said. I'm sorry, I was working on apparently my misreading. Oops.
Because I think,
It's in J, minimum distance between accessory building and side lot line shall be 5 feet. And the minimum distance between accessory building and the rear lot line shall be 5 feet.
Okay,
Which that's been that way as long as I can remember. so.
disregard then.
Well, no, they make a good point. I understand what you're saying.
because I think.
You
Okay,
never deal with that, do you?
we obviously got back on the discussion, so if there is no more discussion, I will again close the public hearing. If everybody's okay with that, we will do that. And I am open to a possible motion for recommendation to the mayor and board of commissioners.
I've got one, I'm sorry to do this, I got one more question.
It's fine, go for it.
This is mixed-use dwelling in commercial district. Obviously, this is going to probably be more of a thing in our downtown area. Where did we get the 45% dwelling space
That
for
from-
total floor area?
Is that from a live-work unit, Scott, by chance?
Is that fire, is that international building code, is that?
No, this was based on what other communities have done. It wasn't a full 50%. They did 45%, just a little bit less, so that the primary use of the structure is a commercial.
You may wind
full.
up automatically putting a couple of buildings in code violation in downtown area. Because we have some that are 75, 80% of a second floor or partial third floor, whatever, that are residential use.
We'll get,
Are they going to grandfather those in?
Yeah, this would have language in, those existing structures would not, is there grandfather language in this when you present it to the commission?
Correct, so anything that's done prior to this adoption that's in place, it's gonna be grandfathered in, or it's gonna be.
Is that in here, or is it?
It's automatically, goes into the conforming
you have a
section.
non-conforming clause
Yeah,
somewhere,
yeah.
okay.
We
If
have
I
a conforming section.
If I have a second story, there's essentially 25 by 1,500.
Yeah, and then we have it where it says
150.
dwelling units, so your staircases and those don't have to count towards it.
Well, and to be Cole, make sure I'm understanding, I'm pretty sure that section only applied to like ground level front versus rear, is that correct? Like second and third story, that would not be applicable, is that correct?
With,
It's not on the first level.
Dwelling units must not exceed 45% of total floor area of the structure and shall not be located within the structure.
Yep, so if it's a
As the
mall,
street.
See, that's how I read that the shall not be, the street storefront of the building, meaning
And
that,
shall not be located within, so that's and, so we're.
so if it's a multi-story with a bottom,
If it's a 3,750 square foot, single story building, you can't turn the back third into living area.
yeah, that's a problem.
So if I've got 25 by 150 on a second floor, which is 3,750 feet, I can only develop 1,687 feet of that second floor as residential. What do I do with the rest of it?
so
If
it's,
I want to do a loft apartment,
so if you're doing a loft, so it specifically says dwelling units. Usually you have your fire escapes and those aren't considered
Sure.
part of the dwelling. And so it's not the actual residential use classification, it is the number of units. So if you have, because you'll have your hallways, which wouldn't count towards the square footage, your exits wouldn't count.
Your basement floor, your third, second floor, that's all floor area.
okay, what about the gym on Grand Street, that whole second floor? With about, the exception, about 20% of it is, 20% of it's storage. The rest of it is been done up real nice as a loft. If I want to duplicate that in another building, I'm not going to be allowed to do that.
I bet if we measured it, it's 55% and 45%. I've been up there.
Yeah,
Would this be subject to a variance, though, if, say, somebody wanted to go over? So it is technically allowed, it's just more of a process.
Yes. In review.
well, I'm frankly, I'm glad they're adding something to it, because it's been an issue for a while.
Are these, you looked at other municipalities, which communities did you look at as a format? Because we don't want to reinvent the wheel. We want to do what's been successful in other municipalities similar to Enid. Which other communities did you look at as you wrote this?
I don't remember all of them. The ones that obviously stick out were the ones that I worked at. Leavenworth was actually 40%. We did, I believe I looked at Broken Arrow, but I can't remember.
That's a good one to look at.
Yeah,
Progressive.
there are other communities. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't have them listed. I didn't bring that information. I think we did Lawton.
Probably Stillwater.
Stillwater doesn't actually have anything. So,
Not?
No.
no, it has mixed use, but it didn't really say much. Leavenworth did. The only reason Leavenworth was really good because it has a very historic downtown like we do here. Again, that's the only, I worked there, so I remember, and they did 40%. I went a little bit further for 45% for us in that ability. And I really, the other ones, they were, I believe I saw a 33% on one at one point. Again, they were just talking about single floor structures. I think that a lot of them also did PUDs for if they wanted to do a mixed use.
So if I want to do a PUD, I can get past that 45%. Is that what you're saying? It's still another step, but,
Yeah.
okay.
The city of Perry, we did something like this several years ago while I was still there. They did it at 50% with a variance up to a maximum of 60%. That's a lot, but I mean, it is something that I would say you probably need to set a hard cap number on that variance that they would apply for, because that could create some headaches for you.
Scott, what is, if I'm wanting to do second floor of my building and I want to do a use by review, can I get 100%, 90%?
As I said, I don't think we have anything that's going to cap it.
Yeah, we don't. No.
while you're thinking about it, and this is, I guess, for everybody to discuss, but would it be worthwhile to add language in there for a second, possibly third story that would exempt those as resident, and I'm thinking like the Sears lofts that we just did?
Right.
Base floors, commercial, second and third have to be residential, something to that effect.
Well, I think it's falling within the percentiles. And we're not.
And it could,
I think if we're redoing a building like that, we probably are gonna do a PUD in the future. If, I just say it, if we take the Broadway Tower and turn it all into residential, you're going to have a PUD on that. That's too big of a project. That's not one guy going, gee, I wanna live like Dan Tena and park my T-Bird in the back end of my floor back there and have a pool table and be real cool. This is, and I think it's also to regulate and properly permit when we are doing multi-tenant space like Sears, and Gary's done it right.
yeah.
I'd say too, and just to remind you guys, one of the things that I try to push on to our staff is, hey, if we're in new territory, let's start out conservative, and we can always make things less restrictive. You know, as if somebody comes to us with a project and they're willing to spend the money to turn an old downtown building and do all of the sprinkling that's very expensive, you know, we want to help them maximize their space. We'll find a way through a variance or some other way, but we like to start out conservative if we're in new territory and see where things take us, you know. And
This is not the cost-effective method for residential development.
true, but some
It's
people
cool.
really want to do it,
It's
so we're
cool.
making a way.
I'm definitely not
know.
saying it's not cool, but it's
So this is a conservative approach, and we recognize that, but we also want to preserve our downtown for what it is, and
Sure.
and so this is our way of trying to come up with that. And maybe sometime in the future it needs a tweak, but this is a first stab at trying to.
Well, let's see how many,
That happens.
I think we could do this and then just see how many variances we get. If we get covered with variances, I don't foresee a lot of people doing this. Maybe this opens it up to more of that, but we've handled some other things in the past where it's like, oh my gosh, we've got a whole meeting full of variances. We need to look at this particular specificity on this item, so.
And I can appreciate everything you said, Scott, but
Yeah.
being that I've sat in those seats, there's always going to be that one guy that shows up to try and test the limits. And it's better to have something in place ahead of time rather than try to deal with it on the back end. So that would be my only precaution, but I think it's a great idea.
And we want to be able to inform the public succinctly on when they do ask questions. We can, whether we're talking to staff or somebody, or they're asking, about, construction costs or whatever, we can give them a succinct answer. I think we just want to be accurate as well, so.
And thanks for being patient with us. I mean, the ADUs as well, that's something new for our community, and we don't want to do it wrong. And so we have a conservative effort that we've put forth. We don't want people to go to Lowe's and buy sheds and hope they can stick them up. We want to have a standard that you have to meet. We do want people to go to Lowe's if you're out there and you really love Lowe's, but you just can't live in a shed, okay? Hear me.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that you get our intent.
Yeah, no, it's.
Yeah.
Now, we can make edits to this, how it was published, if you want to change the actual verbiage of this definition. We can do that.
I would set a cap if it were me. It's up to you to come up with that number, but I would set a cap. I don't think anybody has an issue with a live-work unit. It's just about how much that'll take over that building.
Could we do a lot if we do 50/50?
Yeah.
Set it at 50/50, and then if for some reason somebody can come in and make a good case of, here's why we would like to do 80% of floor number 2 or number 3, then we let you worry about that.
So what is the publication requirement on what you have
So
submitted?
what we read is what was published. So it didn't go into specifics. So it has that we changed the definitions of this. to add and omit, what did we say for definitions?
The mayor gets to read it.
Yes, okay. So it was very broad on definitions.
next bottle of
To
water.
modify, remove, and add definitions and add illustrations. So that was what was published, that verbiage. Couldn't do industrial because we specifically said setbacks in the notice. So we can tweak this definition, and you'll add it as a recommendation to the motion how you want it. Or you say it and then say however, with the recommendation of the edit of the mixed use as previously discussed. So we want to do 50-50. What else?
No, I think that's, and I think in people's brains that makes more sense. And I don't know how to
Okay.
explain that.
Okay, so
Maybe this works in my brain better.
so adding the dwelling units must not exceed 50% of the total floor area, or
In the mixed use.
Yes.
Just change the
Dwellings with-
45 to 50.
50?
You substitute.
Just
Dwelling
that?
units within a
Okay.
larger structure
Okay,
must not exceed 50% of total floor area.
okay, so I'll just change it
And
to
still
50.
not be located on first floor, street floor.
Okay, so we'll just change it to 50 instead of 45.
Correct.
Okay, that's an easy edit. I'm over here like, I'm ready.
I did have 2 additional ones that I didn't see, and maybe we just didn't get to it, maybe we did. On these ADUs, was there considerations for like privacy? The reason, did all this homework, windows shouldn't be shining into your neighbor's backyard so they can't see in, that kind of thing. And then also access. I saw that one parking pad required for that?
Yes, okay, so we kept it very basic because you have some communities, I think Oklahoma City's was like 5 pages long. I was advised not to go that in depth, so.
They gave you good advice.
Yeah, so stuck it to this, one paved parking. Now, there are some communities that have requirements for sidewalks, access only into the alley, those kind of things in the rear. We didn't suggest it in this. We can make that suggestion. Let me make sure that's on the notices.
I'm less concerned about the parking, to be honest with you. If you want your
Okay.
grandma to park in the driveway and walk to the back, that's fine. It really to get into the privacy issue, though, that was something that we ran into. Another district that we did, or another town we did those in. Nobody had a fence. It led to some complaints coming in, somebody walking around in their birthday suit kind of thing, so it might be something worth considering. Because if you've got windows facing your neighbor's backyard with no privacy,
If I had a neighbor like that.
I mean, same for primary structures, though.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we did lower it, that is true.
We didn't make any changes to the fence requirements in residential.
So, so setbacks, that Scott made a good point on setbacks. Since we reduced it, the privacy would become an issue.
Okay.
So,
Could.
yeah, it could.
Just something to think about.
Just have to be smart about where you put a window.
There's always that one guy that's going to test you.
I lived next door to her
I
back in
thought he was
the
going
day.
to say he is that guy.
And we don't have accessory buildings in our backyard, so yeah, some people just don't have any taste or couth.
All right, guys, third time's a charm. I just mentioned this to Cole. I mean, we've had a lot of thought here. Do we even want to consider tabling this for a month and have everybody think about it?
Second.
Move to table?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to table.
What do you want with this table? What would you like for the reasons for this table?
There's a lot of information here that a lot of people are seeing things that could or possibly should be changed.
Are
And
you
it sounds
wanting-
like that all the commissioners are not all on board with this, so if you want to bring this back up next month and have the guys think about this over a month, and if there's anything else that we need to add to it or take away from it, is that going to be a problem?
You'd have to read it again.
Yes, and I'm gonna have to do a renotice. So, and I also need to know what I need to bring back.
So I would say just in the middle of all this, in regard to my questions about the industrial zoning, that was me misreading that on that particular part and misinterpreting that as we've changed not only setbacks in industrial, but we've changed industrial zoning, period. So that's been clarified. I have no more questions or comments on that in regard to this agenda item, so.
Okay, I do.
I would say, guys, if we can, well, I guess we've got a.
I've got a motion and a second, so if there's no more discussion on the motion and a second, and you've got what you need to come back to us in a month?
All I
If it's
have,
continued, it wouldn't have to be republished. It wouldn't,
yep, I would have to republish it.
so long as the order would indicate this is a continuation to the next meeting.
Yes, I could do that.
Yes,
Yes,
you can.
I think we would have to, I would
Does
have.
the publication say that it'll be heard at the mayor and
Yes, it
commissioners
does.
meeting
So
on?
he'll have to read that whole
The
title.
rest of it has,
He'll have to read the whole title, and then I present saying that requesting to table it for this too.
Chair, I would like to formally withdraw my second.
I think, I don't want to be inefficient in that regard either. I'll go ahead and withdraw the motion, if that be the case.
Okay,
I would, not sure.
Since you did a second, go ahead and vote, and then we can re-motion if it fails.
We could take a vote.
okay, vote on the table or vote on,
Vote on the table.
okay,
So you can say no to the table.
okay.
Voting.
Well, then, as it is, then we had a motion to second, or excuse me, motion to table and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Those opposed? Okay. The motion to table failed. With that being said, I will entertain a motion for recommendation to the mayor and board of commissioners on this whole thing.
I make a motion with the amendment of the 50%
Beautiful.
to recommend to the council and mayor.
I'll make a second on that.
I have a motion and a second with the amendment of the 50% rather than the 45 for the recommendation to the mayor and board of commissioners. All those in favor, right hand. I believe that's unanimous.
When is this set before the commission?
Next week.
Next Tuesday?
Yes.
Did you, you did have your hand up? Yes. Okay. All right. With that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor, aye? Aye. Those opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you guys very much.
Thanks, guys. Is this a record, the longest one for you guys?
No, we've had,
I read
Oh, okay.
when it came out.
I'm out.